The Industrial Revolution essentially created the need for the development of effective management tools in general. In the early 1900s, men like Henry Gantt generated simple yet effective management methods to improve the management of production. During the Second World War, his Gantt charts were used extensively in the manufacture of armaments in the US to meet the demand in Europe. The Gantt chart also became the planning tool of choice for the planning of projects. By the early 1950s, it became clear that Gantt charts were no longer sufficient for the planning and scheduling of maintenance shutdowns at the large chemical and production plants being built at the time. They were just too complex. The U.S. Navy Special Projects Division reached a similar conclusion about large military projects at about the same time. Both saw the immediate need for more powerful techniques for the planning and scheduling of projects, especially if they could take advantage of the already envisaged digital computers of the future. Kelly and Walker developed critical path method for E.I. DuPont in 1957. And the U.S. Navy Special Projects Division, in conjunction with management consultants Booz Allen Hamilton, developed Project Evaluation and Review Technique, known as PERT. Although developed completely independently, their solutions were essentially the same. And of course, both were ideally suited to the use of computers. The true genius in both CPM and PERT lies in the fact that they were both able to separate the logic from the timing. The logic has to do with the sequence. The timing is the result of the sequence. There are basically two types of critical path networks. There are arrow diagrams and there are precedence networks. The arrow diagrams were known as activity on arrow, while the precedence networks were known as activity on node. In the case of arrow diagrams, the arrow represents the activity ij. The little circle on the left with the I in it is called a node, and it represents the instant in time before activity ij starts. J is the instant in time when activity ij is complete. The length of the arrow has no meaning. The arrows are then arranged to show only the sequence in which the activities are performed. There is no reference to time. In the case of precedence networks, the activity is represented by a box. The left-hand vertical of the box represents the instant in time before activity A starts. The right-hand vertical represents the instant in time after activity A is complete, and the horizontal lines at the top and bottom represent some time between the start and the finish. The boxes are arranged to show the sequence in which the activities are performed. There is no reference to time. A key element in the critical path method is building the network. So how exactly do we go about building the network? That is best explained with a simple example. So let us imagine that we have a small project to overhaul a machine. So our project is to overhaul a machine. And we start with an activity list. we build a list of all the activities or jobs or steps involved in our project. As soon as we have that, we can start sequencing those activities. And we start with, let's take the first one, disconnect the machine. We can do that immediately. So we put that one first in the sequence. Then we look at servicing the input side, and all we need to have complete before we start that is the machine must be disconnected. Then we look at service the output side, and that can be done as soon as the machine is disconnected as well. Then we remove the old wiring, and that can also start as soon as the machine is disconnected. Next, we have to install the new wiring, and to do that, we need the old wiring removed. And finally, we need to align the output and input. And in order to do that, we need the services complete on both the input side and the output side. And having moved all of those into their correct sequence, we are now at the end of our project. What we have now is, starting with the activity list, we have sequenced those activities and created a network. Now notice, the network shows the sequence only. Time is not considered at all during these steps.